The new Earth was a nightmare map. Gotham's Gothic spires jutted up beside the glowing towers of Stark Tower. Themyscira's marble cliffs rose from the same ocean that held Atlantis and Namor's undersea kingdom. Latveria's iron citadel loomed on the same horizon as Metropolis' shining skyline. Every continent had been reshaped, every border rewritten by cosmic hands. It was as if the two universes had been shuffled like a deck of cards and slapped down on the table in one impossible spread. Heroes awoke scattered across this impossible terrain. Spider-Man stood on the rooftop of the Daily Bugle. Except 2 streets over, the bat signal burned in the night sky. Hulk found himself waist deep in the icy waters of the Arctic, staring at the Fortress of Solitude in the distance. Superman hovered above Manhattan, his heat vision cutting through the clouds, scanning a skyline littered with both Daily Planet banners and Avengers billboards. The first hours were tense but quiet. Then the fighting began. It started in Times Square. A Kryptonian armored strike team, actually Lex Luthor's tech operatives, disguised to resemble Superman's soldiers, descended on the Avengers, tearing through cars and storefronts. Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, and Hulk hit the streets within minutes. These guys look like they're with Superman, Natasha called out over comms. Could be some kind of ultimatum. Across the river in Gotham, a swarm of metallic drones, Magnetos painted with the X-Men insignia, descended on Wayne Tower, releasing EMP bursts that plunged the city into darkness. Batman's voice cut through the Batcave's comms. These aren't ours, but someone wants us to think they are. Wonder Woman took to the skies, sword in hand, while the Flash blurred through streets to evacuate civilians. Neither side knew the truth, that they were being staged for war. Spider-Man landed in the middle of Times Square, just as the battle hit full swing. Hey, Cap, these guys aren't with Supes. He didn't finish before a concussive blast from one of the armored attackers sent him skidding across the asphalt. Thor swung Mjolnir, sending 3 of the soldiers flying into a billboard, but Hulk tore through the street like a green avalanche roaring. Don't care who they are, smash first. From high above, Superman descended in a streak of red and blue. Stand down, he shouted. But the moment his boots hit the ground, Iron Man's repulsors lit up, aiming dead at his chest. Not until you tell us why your people are attacking ours. The clash was instant. Hulk slammed into Superman, shattering concrete and throwing shockwaves through the city. Thor's hammer met Wonder Woman's blade in a deafening clash of lightning and steel. Captain America caught the Flash mid-sprint with a perfectly timed shield throw, sending him tumbling into the side of a bus. And Spider-Man was left standing in the middle, webbing 2 attackers from both sides to stop them from killing each other. Why is it always me stuck playing referee? Elsewhere, the war spread. In Metropolis, Wolverine and Cyclops led the X-Men against the Teen Titans after a mutant attack on Titan's tower left Beast Boy hospitalized, a hit job actually carried out by Joker's mercenaries. Over the Pacific, the Green Lantern Corps engaged the Nova Corps in a dizzying aerial dogfight. Each side convinced the other was destabilizing the planet's orbit. Beneath the waves, Namor's warriors clashed with Aquaman's Atlanteans in brutal hand-to-hand combat among coral towers and ancient shipwrecks. Lex and Doom watched it all from their hidden command chamber in the Pocket Realm, each satisfied in their own way. The trick, Lex said, is not just starting the fire. It's making sure no one even tries to put it out. Doom's gaze never left the battle screens. They will exhaust themselves, and when they are too weak to stand, we will claim what remains. Night fell over the fractured earth. The fighting slowed but never stopped, In the ruins of a collapsed bridge connecting Gotham to Metropolis, Spider-Man crouched beside a battered Captain America. Across the rubble, Batman stood with a torn cape and cracked cowl. They stared at each other across the smoke-filled gap, neither speaking, neither lowering their guard. Overhead, the bat signal and Stark Towers, glowing A, burned in the same sky. Two symbols that had never shared a horizon before, and might not survive sharing it now. Dawn broke over the fractured earth, but it brought no peace. The night had been filled with scattered firefights, failed negotiations, and escalating mistrust. By morning, the fragile thread between Marvel and DC's greatest heroes had snapped completely. Across the globe, battlefronts ignited. In New York, the Avengers fortified their stronghold around the partially merged Avengers Tower and Baxter Building. Tony Stark, bleary-eyed but relentless, oversaw repulsor cannon installations, while Reed Richards coordinated defensive shields with Sue Storm's force fields. "We're not starting this war," Stark said into his comm, "but we will end it." Across the ocean, the Justice League gathered in the Hall of Justice at now relocated to a strange coastline, where Latveria's iron walls jutted behind it. Batman stood at the war table, sifting through intercepted intel from Cyborg. The files proved the Avengers were designing a multiversal weapon capable of wiping Kryptonians from existence. Batman didn't trust it. The data felt too clean. But Superman's patience had already worn thin. "If they have a weapon," he said, voice like stone, "we can't wait for them to use it." The trap was sprung. Battlefront Alpha, New York City. The Justice League struck first, descending on New York in a coordinated assault. Superman tore through the upper floors of the Baxter Building, shattering containment chambers. Wonder Woman clashed with Thor in the skies over Central Park, lightning colliding with divine steel in blinding arcs. Flash zipped through the streets, dismantling Stark Tech before it could fully deploy, only to be intercepted by Spider-Man, who tagged him mid-run with precision web shots. "Flash!" Peter shouted, flipping over a cab as the speedster tore it aside. "This isn't you!" "Tell that to the people your side's hurting," Flash shot back, vanishing in a streak of red lightning. On the ground, Hulk smashed through an armored Batmobile like it was paper. Batman countered with precision explosives, detonating around Hulk's legs to stagger him. "Banner," Batman said through a voice modulator, "you're stronger than this." Hulk's only answer was a roar that rattled nearby windows. Battlefront Beta. The Atlantic Ocean. Beneath the waves, the clash was primal. Namor led Atlantean shock troops, armed with tridents crackling with bioelectric charge, meeting Aquaman's forces in a swirling maelstrom of currents and blood. "You threaten my kingdom," Namor bellowed, slamming Aquaman against a coral ridge. "You threaten my world," Arthur spat back, summoning a tidal vortex that sent Namor's soldiers scattering. Overhead, a squad of Green Lanterns dove into the fray, emerald constructs illuminating the dark depths. They were met by Nova Corps units, their golden beams cutting through the water. The ocean boiled with heat from their clash. Neither side realized the skirmish was triggered by a false intel drop, planted by Reverse Flash, disguised as a Nova Corps messenger. Battlefront Gamma, San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge was half Metropolis steel, half Wakandan alloy, an all battleground. The Teen Titans had cornered the X-Men here after reports claimed the mutants had destroyed a Titan's outpost. Cyclops barked orders while optic blasts carved through the fog. Beast lunged from the shadows, taking down Cyborg in a tangle of limbs. Raven and Scarlet Witch circled each other above the bridge. Dark magic and chaos energy colliding in reality warping bursts that bent the structure like taffy. Wolverine's claws locked against Donna Troy's bracers in a shower of sparks. Starfire's bolts scorched the pavement near Storm, who answered with a blinding hurricane that sent half the bridge's combatants tumbling. The fight had no strategy anymore, just survival. Behind the curtain, far away in the Pocket Realm, Lex Luthor and Doctor Doom monitored every battle through an array of floating holograms. Reverse Flash stood at their side, reporting the latest fractures in hero alliances. "They've stopped coordinating entirely," Thawne said with satisfaction. "The big hitters are too busy trying to break each other to notice they're bleeding." Magneto watched the chaos unfold in silence, his expression unreadable. The Joker, on the other hand, was in ecstasy, spinning in his chair while singing mock battle hymns. "Oh, I love this part. Heroes breaking heroes. Everyone's miserable." Doom finally turned to Lex. "We have 3 of the Essence fragments already. When we have them all, the new Earth will solidify, under our rule." Lex adjusted his cufflinks, "And by the time they realize it, their war will have burned away any trust left between them." The turning point in New York. In the chaos of the Manhattan battlefront, Spider-Man swung between collapsing buildings, dodging heat vision blasts from Superman as he tried to stop Hulk from leveling a residential block. "Superman, stop!" Peter shouted. "We're on the same side." He didn't get to finish. Reverse Flash appeared beside him mid-swing, shoving him into Superman's path at supersonic speed. The two collided, tumbling through the side of an apartment tower. For one terrible moment, the streets fell silent, every hero and villain watching as Marvel's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and DC's symbol of hope squared off in a wrecked high-rise. Superman's eyes narrowed. "You've caused too much damage to be innocent in this." Peter's chest heaved. "And you're letting anger blind you." Neither moved, until Joker's voice crackled over an open frequency, taunting them both. "Go on. See who's right when one of you is dead." The battle resumed with renewed fury, and far above, Doom and Lex knew they were close to pushing the war past any hope of repair. The world was burning. Smoke rose from every horizon. Cities were scarred with battle. Streets cracked from Hulk's rampages. Skyscrapers punched through by Superman's impact landings. Bridges warped from Magneto's power and Wonder Woman's blade. The heroes who once stood for justice now fought like soldiers in a war they didn't understand. Spider-Man's mask was torn, his left arm throbbing from a hit by Superman himself. He swung through the shattered remains of Midtown, searching not for enemies, but for answers. Something in his gut told him none of this was real. At least, not in the way they thought. He landed on the roof of a collapsed parking garage and froze. Batman was already there, standing in the shadows, cape torn, and one lens of his cowl shattered. "You've been looking for the truth," Batman said without turning. "So have I." The revelation. Peter hesitated. "You're not here to fight me." "If I wanted to fight," Batman said, "you'd be on the ground already." Batman stepped forward, handing Peter a small data drive. "Intercepted communications, not from your side, not from mine, from them." On the drive, Peter saw it. Clear, undeniable recordings of Lex Luthor and Doctor Doom speaking in the Pocket Realm, laughing about how easy it had been to pit the heroes against each other. Reverse Flash's speed theft, Magneto's forged attacks, Joker's chaos bombs, all choreographed to force Marvel and DC into tearing themselves apart. Peter's throat tightened. All this, all the fighting, it's been them the whole time. "They've been collecting fragments of the brothers' essence," Batman said grimly. "Once they have them all, they'll rewrite this world in their image, permanently. the last straw. Before they could plan their next move, the rooftop shook. Hulk landed with a thunderous crash, eyes glowing with rage, ready to tear Batman apart. Moments later, Superman descended, blocking Spider-Man's path. "They're lying to you, Peter," Superman said firmly. "Batman's manipulating you." "And he's manipulating you," Batman countered, voice sharp. In the distance, Reverse Flash smirked as he watched from a rooftop, subtly altering moments to make the confrontation unavoidable. "Listen to me," Peter shouted, stepping between them. "We've been played, all of us. We're fighting the wrong people." Superman's jaw tightened. "Then prove it!" Peter reached for the drive. "Idiot als was to and a gunshot rang out. The drive exploded in his hand, shards scattering into the wind. The Joker's laughter echoed across the rooftops. "Oops, my bad." The villain's final move. Across the globe, all battlefronts lit up with the villain's final gambit. Magneto claimed the skies above Latveria, encasing them in a magnetic dome. Reverse Flash froze time in the Atlantic long enough for Doom's drones to steal another fragment of the brothers' essence from the ocean floor. Joker and Carnage unleashed a red zone in Manhattan, sealing off an entire district with chaos energy where no hero could leave alive. By nightfall, Doom and Lex stood in their pocket realm before a swirling vortex. The brothers' essence, glowing and pulsing, nearly complete. "One last fragment," Lex said, eyes gleaming. "Then the world is ours." Doom's voice was low, certain. "And the heroes will destroy themselves before they can stop us." Cliffhanger. On a rooftop in the burning ruins of Manhattan, Spider-Man stood beside Batman. Below them, Superman hovered in the smoke, glaring up with conflicted eyes. "We can still stop this," Peter said quietly, "but we can't do it alone." Batman's voice was steel. "Then we find the ones who'll listen. And the ones who won't?" Batman didn't answer. Lightning split the sky, revealing a massive shadow falling over the city. A colossal figure forming from the clouds, its eyes burning in the same blue and red as the brothers. But these eyes were wrong. Twisted, controlled. Doom's voice thundered across the merged earth. "Your gods are not gone. They are mine."